It's time for the Douglas Coleman Show. Mr. Smooth and Savvy is joined by guests from all walks of life, from the entertainment industry to authors to political and social commentators, the famous and not so famous, the controversial and the light and fluffy. We have it all. Now, here's Douglas Coleman.
Okay, please welcome to the Douglas Coleman Show, Dave McLean. Hi, Dave. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, mate. How's it going? Yeah, good to be here.
Doing great. I got to say right off the bat, I was reading your bio, and you are from Dundee, is that correct, originally?
Yeah, that's where I am just now, actually. I came back to Dundee, UK for 3 or 4 weeks, so I'm in Dundee just now. And go back to Bangkok on Tuesday. I live in Thailand now, so I'm just here for a month. So that's it, Dundee, Bonnie Dundee, on the banks of the Tay.
Well, I recognize the Scottish accent. You live in Bangkok. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. I lived there 20 years. Awesome, best place, brilliant for me.
It's funny because I lived in Thailand for 3 years in 2007 to 2010. Oh
yeah, where did you live?
I lived up north. I lived about 300 miles north of Bangkok, in the middle of the...
Korat?
No, it was near Pisnalok.
All right, okay. Yeah, it's a nice place, Thailand. So nice people.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Good vibe,
Yeah.
Good.
So, what brought you there? Are you got to be married to a Thai woman? I take it then.
yeah, definitely. That's my third wife. Yeah, but she's great. It was like Placebo were playing in Australia, and I just split up with my girlfriend, and my business partner was saying, "Look, for heaven's sake, snap out about it. Go and see Placebo in Australia." And I thought, how's that going to help me? So I got on the plane. It was Singapore Airlines, and as soon as I got on the plane, I was cured from my ailments. I went on Singapore Airlines and thought, wow, this is the future. I don't know if you've been on Singapore Airlines, but that was the future for me. And went to Australia, came back through Bangkok, went to Koh Samui. Met my wife, had a great time, and thought, you know what, let's start an office in Thailand. And we started an office in Bangkok, and that was it.
Wow. So are you doing any work with the Thai music bands, or are you just sort of working out of Thailand?
No, I used to manage a guy called Sek Loso, who was brilliant. He sold 30 million albums in Thailand. Absolutely massive. I was involved with him for a while. But not really. I kind of use it as a base for jumping up to China, Japan, down to Malaysia, Hong Kong, whatever. It's a nice central. I hate to use that word hub, but it's easy to get every place from Bangkok, and it's a load cheaper than Hong Kong or Tokyo or something like that.
Oh,
it's really good.
Yeah, certainly the rents are cheaper. Yeah, I've been to both Tokyo and Hong Kong, and when I looked. You just look around just to see what things cost, and I'd see these one tiny little apartment in Tokyo for like $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
I thought, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we had this guy we were doing business with in Tokyo who was a kind of real big shot, and he came to our place in Bangkok, and he thought we were really rich because it had like 5 bedrooms and a swimming pool and everything like that. But it was only like $300,000 or something, like for the house.
You're right.
But he's in Tokyo thinking, wow, this guy must be worth millions. But it was like really funny because obviously I'm not, But you can get property really cheap there. Although, to be fair, it can go very sky high in Bangkok as well now. It's a crazy sort of place.
Well, you can get everything. I mean, there are a lot of. When I was there, they were kind of building all these sort of high-rise condos, and they were more Western priced. But it's a big city. I mean, you would expect that if you get out into the countryside. You can get acres and acres of land for practically nothing,
Oh yeah, but like in Bangkok now, if you go there now, it's like Tokyo, except maybe better actually. I mean, the shopping malls are better, the apartments are better, the weather's better. It's really really good. It's a good place to go. Although if you want to get the nice food and that, if you want to eat the European stuff, you need to import everything, so it's expensive. But it's the best move I made was going there, definitely, without a doubt.
Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that. So, Placebo, let's talk a little bit about Placebo. Are you their manager?
Yep, 28 years, still going strong.
Okay, because they've been around for a long time, yeah?
Well, 28 years, yeah. I mean, Stefan was 48 a couple of days ago, and their album is #1 in about 10 countries this week, so that's good. And it's not a greatest hits or any of that rubbish. It's a new album. Every review is great. Doing an arena tour, bigger than they've ever been. Everybody says it's the best album they've ever done. So, what can you say? It's great,
Oh, that's great. And you also worked in the past, you worked with Green Day and Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins, so the grunge rock bands, yeah?
Yeah, loads. We did Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, obviously Nirvana, Mudhoney, Green Day, Hole, you name it. We kind of did it. Probably missed a few there, but we did basically everything with a lumberjack shirt, Converse shoes, and ripped jeans on. We were on it in a flash, in a heartbeat. We were there.
What were you doing with those bands? Were you a promoter for them for UK?
Promoter, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, promoter for England and Wales, basically. Not Scotland, but we did about 15 shows with Nirvana, 20 odd shows with Foo Fighters, 25 with maybe Green Day, 20 with Pumpkins, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay. Because most of those are all American bands, yeah?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's where we kind of found our niche, It was brilliant with American bands because I don't know what it was. We just, we had this agent who was the agent for Nirvana, but he also did Mudhoney, Screaming Trees, Melvins, Tads, kind of loads of these bands. So we ended up getting on really good with him, and then we ended up, because we did Nirvana, that was the calling card to everything, basically. Pearl Jam, we did them as well, forgot about them. So it was good, and I always loved the American bands, because way back in the day, 30 years ago, when they came to the UK, it was like a big adventure for them. They'd never really left America, And it was really funny when they would come to London or something. It's like a different planet for them, So it was really good fun. Yeah, and they were always really polite. I always remember that. Very polite, all of them. They were great, Best days of my life, really.
Well, that's nice to hear because, back in the day, rock bands were not known for being polite. They
were. I'll tell you. They were brilliant, all of them.
I suppose if you go back to the punk days or the days in the 70s with Led Zeppelin and all the stories of them ripping up and smashing hotel rooms and Ozzy Osbourne, people like that.
Yeah, but like to be fair, they're actually English, no American.
Right, that's true. Yeah. so maybe you're onto something there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just think the American lot that when we were doing them, it was maybe a bit of a adventure for them coming to a different country because it was an adventure for them, and they came here and they were just great to work with, and I just loved all the American bands we did. There was none that were ever a pain at all, but there was plenty of English bands we did that were, Scottish bands, but the Americans were always cool.
So let's shift this over to your film. Your film is called Schemers, and you've done a couple of films. When did you start doing film, actually?
Well, I've not really done many films. I did a few documentaries with Placebo. We did a documentary at Angkor Wat, which is you'll know because you've been to Thailand and that. It's on the border with Cambodia. It's a big temple. We were the first band to play there. We did a documentary on that.
Oh, okay.
Then we did a documentary in Russia, which was called, Alt Russia. We did 14 shows, Trans-Siberian Express, from Krasnoyarsk in Siberia up to St. Petersburg. We did 14 shows on a train where we stopped at venues, and we did a documentary on a guy called Father Joe, a mate of mine in Bangkok, who's run an orphanage for about 50 years in Thailand. He's an American guy from Colorado. So we did that, which was called, Father, The Godfather, it was called, The Good Father, we called it. It's a really good title, actually. I've done a few documentaries, but this was the first movie we did, actually. First kind of feature film, so to speak.
Okay, so it's called Schemers, and it's basically your life story?
No, it's just my life in 3 months. It was just a gig we did with Iron Maiden, really.
Okay.
it only sort of covers three months of a period of 40 years busking my way through the music business. You know what I mean? And still existing. You know.
Okay, but it's only in a 3-month span, because I'm just reading this. It says it's based on McLean's life. So
no, it's only 3 months. It's nothing. Yeah.
It's not your whole life story then. Okay.
No, nothing. 3 months. A little clip, a snapshot.
All right. So the 3 months. Give us a little synopsis of the 3 months. Just like a trailer, if you will.
Synopsis is guy at a college fancies a girl, thinking up ways to talk to her, can't think of any ideas. His mate says, we need football strips for the football team. And I go, how's that going to help me? He says, we'll do a disco. And when we do the tickets for the disco, you sell the tickets to these girls that you're scared to talk to. And I went, great idea. That would be my introduction line. So we get the tickets printed. I go across, talk to the girls. I say, I've got a disco going on. They say, how much? They say it's too expensive. I say, it's okay, take 6 for nothing. I go back to see the friend. He says, are they coming? I went, yes. He goes, amazing, that's £18. I go, well, no, really. They're all on the guest list. He says, that's not a very good business model. So that's how we started. We did a disco. And we made £1,000 on the first disco, which is 40 years ago was loads of money.
Oh, that's
and we
a lot.
got into doing discos. So we paid the DJ 50 quid. £50. It's not like Calvin Harris gets $1 million now. It was like the DJ got £50 and we made £1,000. But then we thought, this is really boring. Let's put on bands. So we started booking bands like The Cure, Simple Minds, The Only Ones, Ultravox, Thin Lizzy, whatever. But we were paying loads of money for these bands. So instead of making money, we were paying £1,000 for a band and losing money, but it looked really cool. You know, it looked good. It made us look important. the sort of business model went out the window, but it kind of made us kind of semi-famous for a while, so we enjoyed it. And that was that.
So, did you start out playing football?
Yeah, I wasn't that good. I mean, I was good, but I was a bit of a show off. And one day before the game, I had a double vodka before the game, and it was a bit pissed like, and was trying to take the mick out of this guy, and he broke my leg. So I stopped playing football. So that was the end of my burgeoning career. But I would never have made the Hall of Fame, like, you know. I was okay, but a bit of a show off, you know.
Pissed in the English sense, meaning drunk, right?
Oh yeah. Like, I thought, you know what's a good idea? Just give me a bit of a buzz. I'll have a double vodka before I go on here, which wasn't a good idea. But there we go.
Probably not.
No, not good, not brilliant.
So is the film out now?
It was out in the UK a couple of years ago. It was #1 box office new release for a couple of weeks on the bounce. Then all the cinemas shut. Which then that was it. End of story. It's been sold to HBO and Sky and loads of things. Then we got a little deal in America with Gravitas, and it's on umpteen platforms now.
Oh, okay.
But it's won about 15, 20 awards for Russia, Mexico, America, England, whatever. It's done okay, you know.
Oh, I'm going to check it out. This sounds like something right up my alley. Something I definitely
Yeah, it's all right. It's just a bit of a laugh, you know. It's the first of 4, so I've got another 3 to come, so that's good.
First of 4. Are they going to be all about you as well, like different parts of your life?
No, well, they're not really all about me. It's like, I happen to be in them, but my next one's about me and a guy called Scott Young, who is in the first movie. If you Google Scott Young, Dundee property tycoon, you'll see what happened to him. And it follows our life in London from 1985 to 1994. It's called Sold Out. And it covers all the Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, all that stuff.
Okay.
Placebo, I get Placebo. Then he goes his way. Yeah, if you Google his name, and you'll see what happens to him. And it's when we share a house in Hammersmith, and it's absolutely epic. It's amazing. It's going to be a monster.
All right, great. So you're going back to Thailand, you said when?
Well, hopefully Wednesday night. But I mean, the amount of hassle going any place these days, you have to solve so many forms and certificates and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
Do you have to
I'm going back there on hopefully Wednesday and come back a month later. Because Placebo are playing with My Chemical Romance 3 nights at a stadium, 100,000 people. We're their special guests, which will be cool. Then we do all our own shows, you know, so that's good.
Well, some of the countries, I mean, I don't know all the rules in various countries. I know Japan was just shut down for a couple of years. But
Japan's terrible, yeah. You just can't get near it. I mean, I used to go to Japan every 6 weeks from Bangkok, but I've not been there for years. Terrible, yeah. Very difficult.
Yeah, I don't know what all the COVID restrictions are. So you can get into Thailand without any trouble at this point?
No. There'll be plenty of trouble getting in. Don't worry about that. There's always trouble getting in there. I mean, as long as I have all the forms filled into perfection, I'll be fine. If there's one dot missing or a stroke off a T, I'll be out on the arse. You know, I won't get in. You know.
Well, do you have
everything's got to be perfect? You know.
You have all your vaccines. You've been jabbed 3 times, or
umpteen vaccines.
Yeah.
But you can't go any place without a vaccine these days. I mean, whether you're a fan of them or you're not a fan of them, if you've not got a vaccine, you can't go any place. So that's it. You've got to get a vaccine. So I've had 3.
You've had 3.
You know,
okay.
I think I'm up to date. What about yourself? Are you vaccinated and all that?
Oh yeah. I've had my 3. So, but I don't go anywhere. I stay in Las Vegas, so I'm fairly safe.
Oh, Las Vegas! I love Las Vegas. I've been there a few times with Placebo. Brilliant. And what one of my favourite bands of all time, and I was lucky enough to meet them a few times, was the Killers. I met Brandon Flowers. I think they're from Las Vegas. I'm sure he said they were. The Killers, you know the Killers? The Killers, Mr. Brightside and all that. You know, huge, massive.
I probably do, but
hell,
it's not ringing a bell at the moment. Yeah.
One of the biggest bands on the planet, and they're from Las Vegas. I'm sure they are. Check it out.
Okay, I will. How do you spell that? How do you spell that?
The Killers. Killers. And Google in Mr. Brightside.
Okay.
And that'll.
Yeah, I think it's familiar.
Or When We Were Young. That makes me. Oh, he's got a great voice, Brandon Flowers. That is one band I would love to manage if the opportunity ever arose, which it won't. But there you go.
Well, Dave, we got to wind this down. Do you have a website that you want to give out?
The www.rivermanbangkok.com.
Riverman
Or
Bangkok.
I'm on Instagram, Davie from the D, Instagram, or whatever. Facebook, Dave McLean, whatever.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, and I'm going to check out your film. It sounds great.
Please do, and spread the love, okay?
Absolutely will. All right. Thanks for coming on the show.
Nice one, mate. Cheers. Good luck.
Okay, take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.